Peace and Yah bless. Yah's the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's a spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about Yah's pleading. Okay? Top of this page, you see, it says Yah's pleading, to plead with you. Okay? To plead with you. It's almost like he's, begging you to get you to do something because of something that before him that you are not doing. Okay? Okay. It doesn't matter who you are. Okay? Should you make it to certain levels of this exodus in order to get home. Okay. I'm here in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20. Been here many times, talked about this particular scripture many times. But I want to get some clear, clean, and crystal understanding about this Ezekiel 34 through 38 of chapter number 20. Okay? Now that being said, okay, like I said, we're not exactly sure, 100% sure, how the Exodus process is going to work out. We know that we've seen different parts of the process and how it's supposed to work. Okay? But we don't know 100%. We have to wait on Yah and see what he wants to do. Okay? And how he wants to do it and when it should be done. Okay? Now, just because you see certain numbers and things like that in this book, okay, dealing with certain subject matter, especially like the Exodus, doesn't mean it places it in a certain year or anything like that, okay? So don't look at it like that, okay? All right? Now, let's get some understanding real quick about this thing, okay? When we come out of here, there are going to be lots of people coming out with us. There's going to be strangers with us, everything else. Okay? Yah has already foreseen that this thing is going to happen. Okay? So, because he has foreseen it and shown it to the prophet Ezekiel, right? He put it here in chapter 20 that it may be seen. Okay? All right? Especially in verse number 38. All right, well, he says he's going to purge out from among us the rebels and them that transgress against the Most High Yah. It says transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the countries where they sojourn. So that means where they are right now, currently, right? And they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I'm Yah. See, what Yah is telling the people, and especially the men of Yah, okay, and the women of Yah, right, who have not went against him, okay, at any point. In other words, turning back to the ways of men, turning back to religion, Christianity, birthday parties, okay, or any of those holidays that people keep, okay, the heathen keeps. All right. So you can't turn to Yah and then turn back to those kind of ways, because those are the ways of the heathen. Because Yah is going to consider you a rebel and a transgressor of his law because you turn back to those things. Okay. Those heathen practices that I've told you guys about. If you go look it up, you'll figure out what it is. Okay. Like Lupercalia, Saturnalia, your birthday parties. And birthday parties are the most wicked of all, because anybody who understands the Satanic Bible, if you go look in there, it tells you the person who's in a coven or something like that, their birthday is, one of their highest satanic days, right? You also read about that in the book of Yhwh, okay, where they were doing what? Having their birthday party, and the whole entire house, a tornado came in, knocked the whole entire house down on top of all of Job's people. Okay, all of his, all of his sons and daughters, because they were keeping these birthday parties. Okay, I told you those things, are things the Most High does not have any pleasure in. The only thing you can do is just recognize your year. Say, hey, I made it another year, another cycle. Thank God for a call of the day. But putting them cakes in front of you and lighting candles and making wishes and all, man, that's all witchcraft, man. And anybody, you just ask anybody who's a witch, they'll tell you. If you'd ask one, I'm sure plenty of y'all know one. Y'all do enough witchcraft, right? Anyway, that being said, right here in verse number 38, that's what the Most High is talking about. Because you're going to have people at the last minute who are going to try to change up, real quick at the last minute. And they're not really following Yah. They've not ever really followed, the Most High's law. And you're going to have some of these guys in these, like I'm going to say, these Israelite groups, these camps that represent, this, Yahweh, another name for Jesus, right? Or Yahushua or any of that stuff, all right? You're going to see people like that. Those are your rebels and transgressors because they're not worshiping Yah in his pure light, right? In his pure worship, him by himself. Because there is no other God with Yah. That's in, man, read Isaiah 45, 44, 46, 47, all throughout this book. The Most High tells you there's nobody with him. If you would just read, okay? These idols and images that men have made up, they have constructed these things. And they constructed Jesus as a tool against, in particular, dark races. To do what? To make dark races believe, right, that in order to get to God, you got to go through somebody who was a lighter skin or a Caucasian race. That's why they painted that picture. Okay? It even tells you that in the book of the Maccabees for those who read the Apocrypha. Right? Talks about those images that men painted for themselves. It talks about that all throughout the Torah. About not painting those pictures, right? You know what I mean? And worshiping those photos, right? You have to really be worshiping Yah. And here's the next thing. Worry only about getting yourself to the Holy Land. You can't worry about the next person because the next person, there's no guarantee they're going to make it. Okay? Even some of the women we might select, no guarantee they're going to make it. We don't know what they do or what they're about unless you live with them. You know what I mean? Okay, then you might know what they're about. But outside of that, you don't know where they come from, what they're about, or what they're really into. Okay? All right, like I told these gentlemen out here on some of my discourses, be careful with these women. Some of them are just 1099s, you know what I mean? Contractors for the U.S. government, the Ku Klux Klan, and on and on and on. You better be very careful out here. You Israelite gentlemen, remember Pharaoh, okay? In the very first chapter of Exodus. Remember that. And keep that in mind, okay? Until you get through the Red Sea and over to the Holy Land, okay? Because that's where we are right now. We're out in the Red Sea, okay? All right? Crossing the Red Sea, I went through and I held my staff up, boom. I blew the water in half, through the power of Yah doing it, right? And now you have, the dry land. And all the people are going across on the dry land, right? Okay. So, to get to the other side, okay, for those who read the book of Exodus, same sort of situation, not much different, okay? But what it talks to you guys in verse 38 about purging out these rebels and these transgressors who transgress against Yah. Yah means you're not going to make it into the Holy Land being a rebel and a transgressor. Because the only thing that would happen if you were to make it, Yah would have to get you there. And there's already a process set for that too, called the Iraqis, the Assyrian. They're going to come through too, take out some people. So, this process is going to be, almost like a filtering process all the way through, for a while. Because even when we get back to the land, we may still have people who was acting like they was about the Most High, and, they might turn and, back to their regular self. So, but hopefully y'all take care of that in this purging process. You see right here in verse number 38. Like I said, the people, they're going to come out from wherever they are, right? From wherever they sojourn today. But they're not going to enter into the land of Israel. They're not going to set not one foot in there. Okay? So this verse right here. Many of you probably wondering, you see me posted what it means. Blessed are the scattered, for they will be gathered to Yah, right? Blessed are the selected, for they will plead, right, with Yah face to face. Blessed are the accepted servants of Yah, for they will present themselves sons of God, okay? So let's check out the blessed are the selected. So people selected by Yah, maybe by me, okay? Those who are selected, all right? If you should be selected for this process for whatever reason that I may select you for, or maybe Yah may select you, I don't know, okay? Because really we're the only two who can select you. Nobody else really can. Okay? All right? Remember that. All right? So if you are selected for this process to make the aliyah and go home, right? Well, you'd better make sure you're doing all of Yah's law. If you're not doing Yah's law, you're going to end up going into the plead phase. That's why it says those who selected are doing what? They will have to plead with Yah face to face. Now, plead with Yah face to face, well, you're going to have to go ask some of those people in Demona what that means. Okay? Because they had to plead with Yah face to face also whenever they got over to Africa. Okay? Back in Liberia, Monrovia. Okay? Monrovia, Liberia. Okay? They had to plead also. Okay? And they went through a lot. Okay, because we don't know how long the Most High is going to, cause them to have to plead. So they'll have to stay in Africa until Yah releases them. Okay, that's what the key is. In other words, they can't go straight to the Holy Land. They're not ready. They have to go and kind of like detox. A lot of people, man, they on all types of drugs. A lot of you got to detox, man. I'm talking about even marijuana. You can't bring that to the Holy Land. You got to leave that in America. Okay? Any kind of pharmaceutical drugs, pills, whatever, you got to leave that in America. Okay? Things like that. Opioids, etc. Even excessive drinking habits. Even excessive sexual habits, I would say. You know what? Some of these women are fast, you know what I'm saying? Some of these men are fast too. Okay? Can't keep their drawers up. You know what I'm saying? For 5 seconds. All right? All those kind of things, Yah is going to plead with you face to face. And in that pleading process, there may be some who don't make it out of that process. It'll be a filter. They won't make it out of that process, okay? Because there's some who are going to make it to the Holy Land and out of that pleading process, and there's some who are not going to make it. Because really, most of them are going to be malicious, right? And have, malicious plans really in their heart. Okay, the Most High makes these things known to me. They want to bring certain individuals. They may start insurrections or whatever the case. They ain't never going to make it. I told you, this ain't no free-for-all. You don't just get on the plane and go. The Most High is not going to let the process end up like that. This is going to be very under control. Guarantee you that. Okay, like I said, I don't care who your favorite person is. That doesn't guarantee nothing. Just because they bringing up YHWH, that doesn't guarantee anything either. Okay, I got to watch myself, even in the position that I'm in. You got to be careful, you know what I mean? Before Yah. Okay? Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but I have to be careful, all right? In what I do, okay? Much less any of the rest of these people out here. Okay? So, verse 34, Most High says, I will bring you out from the people and will gather you, right, out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. He says, I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face. That's what we're talking about. Many of these people will have to be brought into the wilderness of the people. Okay? Not the ones who've been serving Yah. The government arm has to go straight in. There's no need for us to be pleaded with because we've already purged ourselves, okay, from these habits and old ways of men. Okay? But the rest definitely have to go into the wilderness of the people. And there the Most High is going to plead with them face to face. Okay? Just like he pleaded with our forefathers, tells you here. Right? Because he pleaded with them too, remember? Out in the 40 years, right? Okay, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith Yah God. Okay, he's going to plead with you, man. And during this pleading process, right, there's going to be some who are going to pass under this rod, right? In other words, they're going to make the cut, okay? And he's going to bring you into the bond of the covenant. But there are some that Yah's going to completely purge out who are rebels and transgressors, okay? And that's all they really coming to do. And they never, ever going to see the land of Israel, okay? Now, I want you to take this very serious. Yah doesn't play games or jokes, man. When he tells you a thing, he means it. It's going to happen according to the way this page is telling you it's going to happen. Okay? It's a very serious process. Okay? Because remember, I've been watching everybody too. The same way they watch me, I watch you guys even harder. And I don't have to have a camera on you. Okay? Whatever Yah wants to tell me, he tells me about you. Whatever he wants me to know about you, I find out. Think about all the things I found out. And I don't have a camera or anybody's phone number, or I'm not watching anybody. So how did I get all the information that I've gotten? It came from Yah. Think about that. Some of you people, you know who I'm talking to, right? Okay. I love you, Yah. Yah is so great, right? So, anyway, so for you all, just remember this process right here. It is Yah's pleading. He is going to plead with the great many of you, and some of you, he's going to purge. Okay? And that includes the stranger. Because if you're coming over here with if you're trying to travel to the Holy Land with any kind of malicious intent, you will not make it. Okay? So don't waste too much. The best thing for you to do is sit still in the door of Babylon. Call it a day. Get comfortable where you are. Okay? Stay where you are. Because if you try to make this Aliyah and you're not really doing the Most High's law, he's going to catch you before you get to the Holy Land to purge you out. All right? Now you better take serious what I just said. All right? Because any of your malicious plans that you guys might have, ain't none of them going to work. Okay? Now, for you gentlemen who didn't do this right here, okay? One gentleman specifically, I'm talking right to you, okay? You did not do the work. You did not take hold of your heritage. You did not change your name. Why not? Okay? And you sisters too. And even some of my own, they have not changed their name, okay? All right? Why not? I have surnamed thee Israel, though thou hast not known me. So why haven't they changed their name? Then that goes all the way to right here. Okay? You will subscribe with your hand unto Yah, and you surname yourself, right? Himself, by the name of Israel. In other words, that's supposed to be your last name. Your surname. You are supposed to surname yourself by the name Israel, man. Okay? Now, when it says subscribe, whenever you go to fill out your name change affidavit, it asks you to sign the paperwork. That means you subscribe, okay, with your hand. Okay? Many of you have not done this process, and you're supposed to do it. Right? Right? Right. So that's that. All right? Let's read verse 6. Thus saith Yah, the King of Israel, right? I am the first and the last, and beside me there is no God. Okay? He means that. All right? Fear ye not, neither be afraid, for I have told you, for I have told thee from that time, and have declared it. You are even my witnesses. You hear that? Okay? You are even my witnesses. Listen to that, right? Okay? Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God. I know not any. Okay? He said, we are the witnesses to this thing, especially me. I am a witness to y'all. There is no one with Yah. He has performed all these things by himself. He has saved me by himself. Didn't need help from anybody else. He performs these things, okay? Therefore, we fear Yah all the days of our lives, always and forever. He's our creator, and he is our maker, okay? Verse 10. Who have formed a god or a molten graven image that is profitable for nothing. Now you know what a graven image is, right? It's a painting, a picture or something. Okay? So what the Most High said about them pictures, man? It's profitable for nothing. It's just a photo. They're making you guys worship, man. Or you were born into it, your parents made you do it. Because you were listening to them. Right? It is profitable for nothing. It's just a photo. Okay? Okay? And black people in general, they could at least bought you a black image. Well, they do that nowadays, but I'm just saying they bought you the image of the white man and said, that's the way to God. Okay? The same one who's murdering your sons and daughters out here in the streets, right? In Chicago and LA and Texas and Florida and Memphis and everywhere, right? So that definitely can't be the way to the true God, right? Think about that for a minute. Okay, there is no color that the Most High necessarily represents. Remember that, okay? Before you guys get to worshiping these images of men, all right? Whether it's that Yhwh image or whether it's the image of Jesus, right? It's profitable for nothing, right? Here it tells you that in verse 10. They form these idols. You know, it says the idol, that means an idol, right? It's little g, little idols, right? Or a molten graven image, like Buddha, Krishna, Shiva, on and on and on, right? And all that stuff is profitable for nothing because it's not the true God. It's not YHWH. All right? All right. But what does Most High do for his servant? He confirmeth the word of his servants and performeth the counsel of his messengers. Okay? That saith to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, right? And to the cities of Judah, ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. Okay? But the biggest part of this is he confirmeth the word of his servant. Okay? And as the Most High tells everybody, he's the true Redeemer. Okay? Thus saith Yah, thy Redeemer. He that formed thee from the womb. I am the God, right, that maketh all things, right, and stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. He didn't say no Jesus helped him or anybody else is there with him. He said he did it by himself. And no other God can claim that. Not no Allah or Buddha or Shiva or Krishna or anything else worshipped on this earth. None of them can stand up to this claim right here that they're the ones who done this whole thing. Okay? This pressurized dome underneath water. Okay? That has boundaries up, down, and to the sides, right? To the horizon lines, right? And has a ice belt that contains that, right? He has done all these things and made every single being by himself. Therefore, he's going to plead with a lot of people. And should you make it out of that plead phase, make that cut, then you be allowed to come into the Holy Land. Okay? But until then, you will not. And some will just be purged. Okay? Simple as that. So that's what I wanted to talk about as far as the pleading of the Most High with the people. Because he has to plead with the people. Okay? And a great many people will be pleaded with. They can't just go straight over to the land. Okay? Only the Yah righteous movement, those whom Yah has chosen, who have shown themselves as being true to the Most High Yah, only those Yah is going to allow to go over into the Holy Land. Everybody else, they got to go to the plead phase. Okay? Especially the great many of them who haven't done this right here. Never changed their name. It doesn't matter that you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but until you've done all the legal processes, you've not done it. Because a lot of Israelites call themselves Israel, but they just call themselves that on Facebook and on Instagram. But their real name on their driver's license doesn't say that, okay? When you look at my driver's license, it says Zachariah bin Israel, okay? Or you look at my, SSI card, Zachariah bin Israel, okay? Or anything else. Or my name change affidavit on March the 7th, 2015, right? Zachariah bin Israel, all right? All the same. So that's the key. You have to do this work. Very important that you do. Trying to get there now is going to be difficult because, naturally the government's caught wind on that. So, I would imagine that'd be a difficult thing right now, with them because, they like, oh, okay, we're not going to let everybody do that. So that's that. But, you got to do things when it's time to get things done, right? All right. We're in a time of Jacob's trouble now. So that may be very hard to get done now. Okay. They may take you through a lot of processes if you try to do it now. I'm talking about unnecessary processes is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying you may go through a whole bunch than you would have had you done it a lot sooner. But many of you not going to do it because many of you are scared of what the repercussions will be if you were to go change your name to Israel. Especially right now. We're in Jacob's trouble, man. Whole entire nation's shut down, right? So difficult times going. All right. But that's for you guys. And like I said, a lot of you guys, those who, have very chips and all that stuff, man, you're definitely going to the plead. You have to go to the plead because y'all have to plead with you. Okay, face to face. All right. That's a fact. So if you've done that, you might as well know that you got to go get pleaded with. You know what I'm saying? It is that you won't make it. It's just Yah has to plead with you face to face. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're really there to serve. Okay? So that's that. So it doesn't, like I said, don't worry about other people. Worry about yourself getting there. It don't matter that you an Edomite either. Okay? You could be an Edomite, male or female. There's still no guarantee. You still got to go through the, the phase of the plead. No matter how much money you got, you can't buy your way in or out of this thing. Okay? It's got nothing to do with that. Okay? This is a matter of serving the true God and doing it with all your heart, soul, and might. Because some of you guys, y'all worrying about who your mate's going to be. Well, your favorite mate might not even make it to the land. All right? Well, might get completely purged out. Okay? Some put to death. So I'm quite sure y'all like, man, you scaring me, Zechariah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary thing. All right? Especially if you haven't been doing the Most High's will. Okay? Or if you treated his servants horribly. Okay? Y'all looks at those things. So I just want to get some clarity about what's going to happen. Because it's going to happen. We don't care that you know the information. We bring it out here to put it out in front of you so that you can know this information, so that you can make a correct decision. Some of y'all just need to stay put toward Babylon. Okay? Or find another nation to go to if you're trying to escape the day of Yah. Okay? Which is soon to come. But trying to go to Israel, man, you have to be right, man. Trying to go to Israel. All right? Very important that you understand and that you process this information. Go over to Ezekiel 20, 34 through 38 and read over it and over it and over it and over it till you get it through your head. What the requirement is of you. Okay? And that a great meaning you must be pleaded with. And you shall be pleaded with, without a doubt. Thank you all for listening. Peace. God bless.